In this section, we're going to talk to you about how to edit a ticket. Editing a ticket is quite simple and easy. All you have to do is hit the pencil symbol on the right for whatever ticket you want to edit. Editing a ticket, the reasons for doing so might range from updated information that you've received either from the company or the customer or maybe even the partner. If we wanted to edit job 62982, simply we would just find the job 62982 and again go to the pencil symbol and click the pencil symbol. Anytime you click into something here, it's always important to note to make sure that you save your work after, otherwise it'll revert back to its original ticket. If you want to update anything in customer information, such as maybe the customer's covered or not actually covered, so it's customer pay, you simply hit customer pay. Or if we want to update their name, we'd simply click into it, or phone number, just click into it, as well as similarly with the vehicle just by clicking into it. Whenever we update notes, it's important to make sure you're very detailed or as detailed as possible and putting in the information into the correct section. Three main sections you use when you're putting in notes. Either you're putting them in job details, partner notes, or swoop. Whenever you put in notes into job details, it's important to make sure you're titling it swoop update. This information is going to be going to not only the company who made the ticket, but also the partner and yourself. When you put any information updated for swoop, it's important to make sure you're putting your initials followed by the information that you want to update. Sometimes things are happening the next day, so it's important to make sure you're putting the time that the information is getting updated, as well as the date. In order to edit location or change locations, quite simply, there's three different ways to do so. One is by getting the direct location address. Maybe we knew it was 63 instead of 6330. Simply we put in 63 South Kolb Road, click on the correct location and it'll update for us and then hit save. Maybe we actually know it's the buildings near 63 South Kolb Road. We simply zoom in, find the buildings that it's correctly supposed to go to, click the A button, and then click the correct location for where the customer's vehicle is located. If we know crossroads for where the customer is located, such as maybe we know the customer is currently located in San Francisco at the crossroads of Bush Street and Montgomery, we simply put in Bush Street and Montgomery and click the button. If we also need to update a drop-off location, simply we do the exact same thing, but to the B section. And again, that's the drop-off section. And that'll update a pickup and drop-off location for the provider to take the customer or the customer's vehicle. If you're updating service, you can update a couple things in service. First off, you can update the time the service is happening. If it's scheduled, we can update the date that at the scheduled time is happening. So maybe it's not the 22nd that this job's going to happen, but the 23rd. And it's not actually going to happen at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's going to happen at 7 o'clock Central Time. We're going to update the information correctly to be able to show 7 o'clock Central Time in Pacific Standard Time. We're most always going to have this in Pacific Standard Time because that's where we're currently located. When we do have information updated to 7 information for a different time zone, even our own time zone, we're always going to want to make sure that we're updating that information in our notes as well. So if we knew that this was going to be done at 7 o'clock Central Time, we would write 7 a.m. local time to make sure that the dispatcher who's working in the morning knows that this 7 a.m. is updated and it should be correct in this location. Service can also be changed for a customer. This gets changed quite often. Maybe a customer calls us and lets us know that the flat tire can't be changed and they actually need the tow. We found out the correct location to drop off the vehicle. We just need to make sure we're changing the service from flat tire to the correct service, which is tow. We can also change the pickup contact information, again name and phone number, just by simply clicking in. And we can also update history. History ranges, again, like we talked about in previous videos, from created to on site to in tow. And this gets changed as well to make sure we have updated information going to not only our internal analytics, but also to the company that's checking out the information for the customer. So maybe we know that this job was actually created yesterday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time PM. We would simply just put that 7 p.m. and then click off to update that information. The last thing that you can do to update information here is by changing who the actual dispatcher is, as well as clicking off the receiving of texts for a customer. A customer is always notified of ETA updates when you update it in this information, as well as they'll always receive a review for a job that's completed, unless they have a landline or their phone does not receive texts. Sometimes jobs get duplicated, and we don't want a customer receiving multiple texts. It's important to note that we should uncheck these boxes so that a customer does not receive multiple text updates and does not receive 2 reviews for a job being completed. We can also change if a customer is getting the information or the pickup contact's getting information. Sometimes obviously a customer is going to be different than the pickup contact or the person who's at the vehicle currently. And then whenever we do changes and updates, it's always, again, important to note, we hit save. If we ever have something that we don't want to change and update and we made a mistake, we simply hit the X button. And that's how you update and edit a ticket.